Drinking buddies, what have I brought in the bar recently? What's my recent haul look like? And what's going on with Arizona Walmarts? It's nuts. You gotta stay tuned to find out. Let's go.
I'm your drinking buddy.
All right, drinking buddies. So yeah, the elephant in the room, Arizona Walmarts. Man, if you're on social media of whiskey, of any kind when it related to whiskey, you probably have seen some pictures. I will include those later in this video. But first, we got to talk about two bottles you already know I have, but they are brand new to the bar, and that is Jack Daniel's. Sorry, this is not Jack Daniel's. This is Jim Beam Black. This is now have a 7-year age statement, and it is 90 proof instead of 86. It was good before. Is it better? I have a short where I explain whether or not it's better. 23 bucks. Next up, this was also at Total Wine, Michter's Barrel Strength Rye, 110.8 proof. I also have a review of this up. Check it out. It's one of the more recent videos I've done, and I compared it to the 2022 version, like a 5-minute video. Definitely watch that. All right, the elephant in the room. I live in Arizona, and you've probably seen pictures of some of these Walmart drops in Arizona. Oh, so I've been into Walmart multiple times, checking in, asking, talking to people, seeing what I can get. And I struck out, but they did have this in the case, and I couldn't pass up Eagle Rare for $29. You just can't pass it up for 29 bucks. It's crazy. Walmart prices for whiskey is insane. Like they smack Costco, which is nuts. Anyway, so 29 bucks for an Eagle Rare. And then we finally got a drop in Arizona for one of these. Now, there was no stag. I will post some pictures of some of the drops here in Arizona. If you are in a small town in Arizona, you're swimming in stag at Walmart. Like, it is crazy. The amount of cases and cases and cases and cases and cases these Walmarts were getting is insane. I'm hearing stories of people walking out with 40 bottles and they didn't even dent how many bottles were there. Which brings up a really important point. I do really wish that stores would limit when they get stuff like this. I know Albertsons Safeway does. You get one if they do a big event like this. Fry's, limit one. Total Wine, limit one. So Walmart, do better. Because I saw a picture of a guy who bought all 6 bottles of Rock Hill and all 6 bottles of CYPB. And he's like, oh, I left the rest for everyone else. But you took all of the ones that were super sought after. Anyway, limit it. And I'm not saying that guy did anything wrong because there was no limit. I might have done it if I was in his shoes. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying Walmart needs to do better and put limits on things. Anyway, my buddy was able to go in, and since there was no limit on things, he was able to buy 2 of each bottle. So he grabbed 2 for me, and he grabbed a Weller 12 and a Weller Full Proof for me. Now, like I said, there was no stag drop in Arizona, but I am plenty happy with these. I was able to have 4 bottles of this Weller 12 come through the bar last year, but I didn't keep any of them. I gave away one as a Christmas present. I traded a couple. I just wasn't able to keep one. And the Weller 12 from last year is phenomenal. It's one of the best sub 100 proof whiskeys I've ever tasted. It was an extra special batch last year, so very cool to have that. Next up, we have trades. Now, if some of you people leave comments like, how do you trade? Great, get into a whiskey community, Discord, Reddit, Facebook. Get into a whiskey community and see, if you can get an invite to one of the more private chats, which is usually where trading goes on, because technically trading is illegal, unfortunately. And, since trading is illegal, I feel like most people figure they might as well sell bottles in these sites too. So it's not just trading that goes on there. Even though I don't sell bottles, I just trade them. But yeah. Anyway, traded for a Jack 10 Batch 3. I loved this pour. Last year's batch, I've already finished it. And I really wanted another one to replace it because it's so good. Very few whiskeys under 100 proof really still hit for me, and these are 2 that really hit for me. And then also a whiskey I've never owned before because of how rare it is Rock Hill Farms, and I was able to trade for one. Now sometimes when you're trading for a bottle like this, I probably way overpaid for it because I had to give up so much to get it, but that's okay because it's one I want and it's one I've never owned. And last up, the Pièce de Résistance. This is the one I'm most excited for. This is really cool. This was given to me by a fan, by a subscriber, by one of you. I don't know if I'm allowed to say his name, so I'm going to ask him, and if he does say I'm allowed to say his name, I'll thank him in a pinned comment. But for now, I'm leaving him as Anon. So Anon, Anonymous, sent me this. It is a dusty It is a Jack Daniel's Tennessee Bicentennial bottle. So this 96 proof Jack Daniel's was bottled in 1996. So this was probably distilled in the 80s. So this whiskey could potentially be as old as me. This whiskey is definitely older than a lot of you. But yeah, bottled in 1996. Crazy. 1996 was the 100-year anniversary of the Jack Daniel's distillery and the 200-year anniversary of Tennessee as a state. So it's a special bottle. I cannot wait to pop this. I'm going to end up, I want to share this bottle with some people. Some people might see a bottle like this that has a very high value and just consider the value. I'm considering the experience on this. I cannot wait to share this with some of my channel members, some of my local friends, some of my, the people in this great community. We're going to have a great time with this bottle. I am so excited to pop this one. Why Dusties? Why are Dusties so special? Well, there's a few reasons. A lot of people aren't sure. But the things that people say are A, they used to use better ingredients. This could be true. 2, they used to use older oak. Some of these trees used to be growing for a considerably longer amount of time. They chop them down and make barrels out of them. Nowadays, they don't have time for that. The trees are much younger than they used to be. So you're using younger oak when they're making the barrels. This could affect the flavor, make it taste worse. I don't know if it's true, but it could be all of the above. That's what I'm saying. Next up, we have the angel share effect. So as this sits in the bottle, it is going to lose alcohol slowly over time, but it will lose no flavor. So essentially, if you want to lower the proof of a whiskey, you have to add water to it. So you're diluting the flavor. But if you let it sit in a bottle for almost 30 years, you're going to lose some proof, but no flavor. So this potentially could be in the 80s in proof. And but it will still taste. It'll still have all those flavors of near a 96, near 100 proof. I personally think it's all of the above. I think that maybe it's a little bit the effect of they used to use better ingredients. It's a little bit of the effect that the wood they used to use was older, and I think it's probably a lot the effect of the angel share disappearing, and you're getting a smoother whiskey at a lower proof, but with the same flavor punch that it had before. Anyway, drinking buddies, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all of you. Every time you guys like the videos, every time you guys subscribe to the channel, you make this thing possible. I could not do this without you. You are all legends. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. And a big shout out to my channel members. You guys are amazing. It's so great to chat with you guys every day in the Discord. We're a community. We're great friends. We're sharing samples and lines and giving each other tips of where to get bottles, and just a great community we have. And yeah, if you want to join, it's a couple bucks a month. There's a link in the description. Anyway, thank you, drinking buddies. We'll see you on the next one.
I'm your drinking buddy.